Hello and welcome to my eternally messy craft room. It doesn't seem to be matter how many hours I spend tidying up the craft room. Still, blink of an eye and it's back to the same state again. But never mind, we are functioning and that's all that matters. So my name is Helen Jennings. I'm a Stampin' Up demonstrator here in the UK. As we all are on this particular video hop, because it is called Stamping Around the UK. So it would be a bit nonsense if we were anywhere else, but we're all Stamping Up demonstrators here in the UK, and it is lovely to join you. I am recording this on a bright and sunny late April afternoon, so I hope that by the time we get to the 1st of May, it is equally bright and sunny. So it's beautiful, really, really warm today. So it's lovely to be here, sitting in my craft room, crafting along with you. So let me introduce myself. This is me, Helen Jennings, but you'll find me under Love-a-Duckie. And my website is loveaduckie.co.uk, and that's where you'll find all things pertaining to me. So do go and check that out. Do like, subscribe, share all of these videos. Do make sure that you follow all the links below the video and go and check out everybody else's beautiful projects as well. So let's not mess around. You've got lots of videos to get through. So let's bring in my downward facing camera. And the theme for this month's video hop is monochrome. Now, we tend to think, when we think of monochrome, of black and white, and I love black and white. I love black and white projects. But I have gone for pool party, because, of course, monochrome doesn't mean black and white. It means one colour. And the one colour that we're going to use in our project, apart from some basic white, is pool party. And not just any pool party. I have pulled out some two-tone pool party cardstock, and you can see as it sits here on my desk, there's two pieces here. One is decidedly paler than the other, and that is what this two-tone cardstock is all about. One side is darker than the other, and obviously sort of has come into our product range as a result of our moving towards a bit more scrapbooking as well as card making, which is really exciting. And this is one of the products that has come along as a result of that. So we already have one colour, but two slightly different tones, without trying very hard at all, just by using the two-tone cardstock. And I have got just a white card base here, and I have got my beautiful butterflies bundle. That's a whole lot of bees. So beautiful butterflies, you get the stamp set, and you can see here you've got a few different butterflies. You've also got these sort of wing patterns. You've got some nice sentiments in here, really lovely sort of squiggly font. So really nice sentiments, lovely images. But as well as that, you get a hybrid embossing folder, which means you get a nice big embossing folder like this, and you can see that big butterfly in the middle, as well as some smaller butterflies around the edge, and sort of like this dotty image. And then, as well as the embossing folder, you get dies, and these dies can actually be used at the same time as the embossing folder, so you can emboss and cut all at the same time. You've also got other dies in here to cut you some smaller butterflies, either your stamped images or some just detailed butterflies. You've got these little butterfly bodies. You've got this large butterfly here that you can use in conjunction with your embossing folder, but you also have a detailed center that you can cut out separately just there, so always fun. And the other lovely thing about this set is, as well as this little banner, you've also got this here that you can use to create butterfly shaped cards. So so that is a great little bundle. Let me just plug my phone in. I've just had a "you're getting a bit low" message come up. We don't want to really stop halfway through, so we'll just plug that in. So stamps, dies, embossing folder, two-tone cardstock. I've got some Pool Party ink, got a blending brush on standby. Let us begin. And I think I'm going to begin with the paler side of the Pool Party cardstock, and I have cut this down already so that it measures 14.4 by 10 centimeters, so it will be a first size mat on your card front. And I'm going to line that up in there, not so that I've got this big butterfly in the center, but so that's a little bit offset, and I've got some of these other butterflies round and about. Let me bring up. I will need my full size Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, because that big 6x6 inch folder is not going to go through the mini. And because we are using the embossing folder, we need our base plate number 1, and we need our embossing folder number 4. Now, the embossing folders you always want to try as much as you are able. Occasionally it can't be avoided, but where you are able, you always want to go through on the fold side first. So where are we? So where you've got the hinge just there, you always want that to go through first. Sometimes it isn't. It is unavoidable if you're with some particular sort of size card stock, but where possible, always go through fold first. Pop that out of the way in a minute. For a minute, we shall want it again. So there we have our Pool Party cardstock with all of these butterflies all over it. I'll move that piece out of the way. I don't think I'm going to need that piece. Just pop that there for a second. When I'm asking what I've done with my embossing folder in a minute, I'll put it down by my knees. I'm going to grab my blending brush. I'm going to move my paper out of the way a little bit so that I'm working on my glass mat. And I'm going to pick up some Pool Party ink. I'm just going to cut around the edge of this card, so that will just add a slightly darker tone. And you might not pick, yeah, I think you might just about be able to pick that up on the screen. It just is. Adding a slightly darker tone, so it is all tone on tone. We haven't added in another colour. It is Pool Party ink, Pool Party card. I'll just bring that around the edge here, and we'll leave that centerpiece slightly paler. That is going to sit on our basic white card base. I've got another piece of the two-tone card here, and I'm going to cut and emboss a butterfly, but I want this one to be slightly darker. So let's bring up our cut and emboss machine. Let's bring up our base plate, our embossing folder. Now with our embossing folder, I don't know how well this is going to show. Let's just move this to one side for a minute while I set this up. It's a tickle in my throat this afternoon. That could be because with this gorgeous sunshine also comes slightly higher pollen count. So I'm going to sit that butterfly die, and it does sit in there. You can feel it as you put it in, you can feel it sort of click all into place. It's not, you can still move it, but you can feel it sort of sit, rather than click in place, sit in place on that embossing folder just there. I'm going to lay my piece of cardstock on so that it is cutting it out on the darker side. Bring back in a machine, lay that again with our hinge going through the rollers first, grey mat on top, and wind that through. Let's put those in there. Let's bring up our butterfly. So I think, like we did in the background, I'm going to take my blending brush and come around the outside. So this should be a bit darker again because it is on the darker side of the cardstock. Obviously, if you've got Pool Party DSP, you could be adding that in. And if you've got any Pool Party ribbon, there was that really pretty Pool Party ribbon we had fairly recently. Now retired, but you might still have some of that in your stash. Right, so I've gone round the outside of that. I'm now going to take just a little bit of sandpaper and rub over the top, because the other nice thing about this two-tone cardstock is it has a white core. So whereas a standard cardstock is one colour all the way through, our two-tone cardstock has a white core. So I'm going to sand that. To just reveal some of that white core. Like that. So we've actually only used one colour of cardstock, but with the use of blending brushes and adding in extra colour and sanding blocks to take some out. Just going to go around the outside of this again just to give it a bit of a darker edge. We have created a few different shades on our card. Now, I was going to put a label die of some sort under there. I'm not sure whether I want to. It's actually rather pretty as it is, isn't it? I wonder. What I may do is just tear a piece of this cardstock. You can see as I tear it again, we're getting white core. So I want a piece like that with white core, and then going to rip this towards me. If you rip the paper towards you, you'll get this white on the top. If you rip it away from you, you'll get the white on the other side. I quite like having that little bit of contrast under there. Let me just cut this to size. Like that. And then I think if I try and stamp the sentiment in Pool Party as well, that is going to be altogether too pale. So what I think I will do instead, I'm just going to take the little hello sentiment from in here. It says hopefully, yes, there we are. Pop it on a block. Find little embossing buddy. And ink up our hello. And I'll take some white embossing powder, I think. And turn on our heat gun. Have our little hello in there. Let's take multi-purpose adhesive and we will add this mat to our white card base. Then I will take a torn strip so this has got the lighter side upwards, down a little bit. Then we'll bring in our butterfly and we will add some dimensionals to that to raise it up a little bit. Oh. Definitely got a little bit of a tickle in my throat this afternoon. I'm sure it will be pollen related. I'm going to put another little bit in there. I'm just adding dimensionals down the centre. I'm not going to stick down my wings on either side. I'm going to let those flutter freely. Give them a little bit of a shape. Running it through my fingers. I could have got my foam folder out as well. Let's come this way. And then a little hello is peeking out just there. I'm going to have a dig about and hopefully find some white twine. Cut a bit of that off. I'm going to reach for my white Pool Party stamping blend. I don't worry about doing this on my glass mat because it will clean up beautifully even with a stamping blend on it. That's coloured that so that it's Pool Party coloured as well. Let's try ourselves a little bow with that. Oh, for goodness sake, Helen. Can't even cut straight. There we go. We'll add that into the centre of our butterfly with a glue dot. Nice thing about the sort of hello type sentiments is that you can use them for all sorts of things. And then I think, oh, I've got some party dots here, look, and they just happen to be Pool Party. So let's add in a few of the party dots, just for good measure. So you've got your little hello sentiment on there. You've got your sanded butterfly. So Pool Party two-tone cardstock that's been sanded, but it's also been inked around the edge. Background has been embossed and inked around the edge to give it sort of slightly different colour. So that was the paler of the two-tone cardstock. This was the darker. This again is the paler, but we've not inked it, so it looks like a third colour altogether. So a monochrome card using Pool Party, using the beautiful butterfly bundle, the stamps and the hybrid embossing folders, and using some of that Pool Party two-tone cardstock, and you get a really pretty little card that you can send to anybody just to say hello, or hello and whatever your message happens to be. And obviously you could recreate that card in absolutely any colour that you like, and perhaps make up a little set of them and send as a gift in a little tied up in a bow or in a little box. Yeah, really pretty. So I hope you have enjoyed that little project, and that you're now going to rush off and hop round and see all the other monochrome projects there are in this May Stamp Around UK video hop. It's been lovely to be with you, and I will be back very soon.